Hey y'all, welcome back to The Inner. Today I'm joined with Aki. Hey, how are you today?
Hello, pleasure to be here. Thank you for having me.
It's nice to have you on. So, if you could introduce yourself to the audience and tell them a little bit about yourself.
Sure. So, my name is Aqui. I am mixed, but I live in India. My mother is part French, so I have foreign origins. There's a little town here called Oroville in the south, and it's an experimental town where people from all over the world come and live there and share cultures, and just it's a beautiful place that has, well, at least it used to not have so many rules and regulations and laws and stuff. So people would just it was just a community about accepting everybody for who they are and bringing different cultures into the uh, area. So I trained over there. So during COVID, I had to go to my mother. Also, I forgot to mention that my mother and my father were separated since I was very young. So I've been alone most of my life because my father also had certain problems of his own and my mother had her own problems. So I was kind of left alone to deal with all of that by myself. So I had to go to my mother in 2020 during COVID. And luckily, I got stuck over there because of the lockdown. So once I got stuck over there, I already started training like about a month before that. I used to just try to climb a wall on my roof. I used to go on the roof and I just try to climb the wall every single day. I'd fail miserably, but I'd still keep trying every single day. Eventually, I managed to do it. And once I reached Oroville, I this since I was already stuck there, I tried to find some people that could train me. And my mother helped me a lot as well in that at that time because she had a lot of connections with people who were like in circus and in gymnastics, martial arts, and whatnot. And so she connected me to these people, and I started my official training, my proper professional official training. That's where I learned most of what I know. At least the base of what I know, the baseline of what I know. I've had multiple teachers and masters. My first master used to be Master Lamo. She was a kung fu expert. She was born in the Shaolin Temple. She trained there, and she brought all of that knowledge to Oroville, where I was lucky enough to be able to take that in. Homa is another teacher of mine. He used to do gymnastics. He's a circus artist and a juggler, and just an artist in general. He's absolutely professional with what he does, and it's beautiful to watch. It's been a magical process living there because I was like 13 at the time. I had just turned 13 when I started training over in Oroville. So that was like my main growing years, my main development years. And spending my main development years in such a magical place where everybody was so open and free and there was art everywhere you looked. There was rich cultures every single direction you looked in. It was a very, very fortunate experience for me, especially living in somewhere like India, where, for example, Calcutta, where I am right now, and where I was born. You don't find that anywhere. I mean, people are just very, very shallow minded, and they're very, very constricted with their beliefs, and they will bring you down if you try to get out of the pack. Like if you don't follow the traditional line of work, like of go to school, study, get a degree, go to college, get a job, and stick to that. And you try to escape that in any way, shape, or form, they're gonna bring you down. They're gonna batter you. They're gonna make fun of you, bully you, and whatnot. So I had to face that too. Like when I first started training here, people here used to just tell me to kill myself because uh, they're like, you're wasting your time anyways. You're not going to achieve anything doing that stupid climbing thing. So just might as well just, as soon as you reach the top, might as well just jump off and end it, like end the misery for all of us. But I had to deal with all that kind of crap all my life. So it's not really that big of a deal. But Oroville really did change my perspective on everything. So I was fortunate enough to go there and live in such a magical place for my main adolescence years. but yeah, so that's where I learned my base of everything I know. My foundation was created over there. And then I had to come back to Calcutta and I trained by myself. I trained myself whatever I did know and whatever I had learned from other places, even in Calcutta or by myself or through research or whatnot. I had to go back to Oroville twice. The second time I had learned even more skills. Like the first time around, I got into taekwondo, I got into jiu-jitsu, I got into martial arts, all kinds of martial arts, kung fu. I got into weapons. I got into parkour. Was always there. Gymnastics a lot. A heavy part of that was gymnastics because especially trampoline. I used to practice on trampoline a lot. And the second time around, I focused more on boxing and mainly artistic circus acts, balance. Oh yeah, slacklining, walking on a rope, all kinds of stuff, like even juggling, all sorts of stuff. Basically, balance, hand coordination, and all that stuff. And all of this subconsciously trained my energy refinement and my energy control. So, as you know, everything is energy. And when you use energy, it's not just about bringing your chi out from within you and using it externally. It's also the fact that you're moving your hand right now. You're using energy to do this. You're using energy to move. You're using energy to talk, energy to eat, energy to breathe, especially breathe. Breathing is a huge part of energy. So, in the process of mastering my body, I had mastered or refined, I wouldn't say mastered, I had refined my energy. I'd gotten used to using my energy with balance, that I knew that if I do this, I'm going to have this kind of reaction. And I did know about energy ever since I was a little kid, like ever since I was a tiny little child. I mean, it was just logical to me. I mean, it's just life force. You watch any anime, you watch anything, every single thing has that in it. It's life force, it's energy. It's not a myth or a joke, it's a scientific fact. It's energy. So now, depending on, I mean, assuming that it does show itself the way we say it shows itself, without maybe we haven't had substantial evidence in terms of experimenting and showcasing, but that's mainly because of other reasons. Mostly that it poses danger to you and your family if you really try to be that outgoing and try to change this, like the outlook of everybody else. If one person alone tries to change everyone's views, everybody else targets people in power start targeting that one person to bring them down. So yeah, so I refined my energy through that, and recently I got a little curious. Like last year, I had nothing to do. I had lost everybody again in my life, and I was completely alone by myself. And I got a little curious as to if I could manifest energy outside my body, and I was curious as to how I could do that, like what it would be like if I did do that. Because I always use energy for refinement. I mean, I always use energy for enhancement, for like tagin for speed and power. I use enhancement for defense to make my parts of my body stronger or give myself a more solid core to stand on. But recently I started training for yin and yang. I had to figure it out by myself. I had no teacher in this. So I had to go through experience, trial and error. I had to gain experience as much as I could. And I had to see what works, see what doesn't work. And there was like, without any hope for any kind of special effect that's going to happen after I do these things, I just kept like kind of training and kind of trying. Everyone made fun of me for it, of course, at first. Because like, what are you doing in front of a candle? You're trying to... So, but that eventually did. I started seeing results. I mean, even if other people made fun of it, when you do something, you see results yourself. You see it. And regardless of whatever it is that you're doing, if you do that one thing for a certain amount of time, whatever it may be in the world, you're going to make progress on that. Something is going to happen. because your nervous system learns it, your soul learns it, so you're gonna get better at it. But yeah, I just, and then the social media thing kind of just happened randomly. I was just doing my thing as I normally do, and I don't know why I decided to try that specific day, that one video that I've done, but I did, and I posted it. I didn't usually post at the time much at all, but I decided to post it, and it got viral for some reason, and it blew up. And I started seeing that I actually have an audience to show my skills to. Because in the past, I posted the same stuff, but I didn't have an audience to show it to. But now I sort of do have an audience to show it to. So I started posting my old videos. I started posting new videos. I started making content. And I saw that, yeah, this is actually some real growth. I mean, I gained about 37,000 followers in the span of 3 or 4 months. So more than 6 million plus views every single month. So that's a huge jump from nothing to that. It's like, wow, all right, I have something here. Because I've always wanted this. I've always wanted to show what I have to the world. I've always wanted to help people, always, all my life. And I've always wanted to do social media as my main line of work. I want to travel the world, and I want to train as I travel the world, and I want to record all of that. I want to show everybody about my experiences, and basically vlog, but not exactly vlog. It's like document my journey all throughout whatever I do. But yeah, that's about the gist of all you got to know about me, at least in terms of energy and training and everything else.
Yeah, that's powerful. Something that you mentioned a few times was just about like the backlash of the community or those closer to you when you started to step outside of the status quo. And I think one of the most beautiful parts of your story is that you posted a video of you just being yourself, and you found out that the rest of the world was looking for that. I started as a mystic pretty young too, and it was almost the same. My immediate circle was not interested. Focus on something else, do something else. But then I got around people who wanted and were praying for exactly the thing that I was after. Because there's some people who are committed to the way things are. And then there's those who are a bit more progressive and want to see us advance. And as I'm experiencing, more people are looking for something better. They just have to see it. So, yeah, I've come to find that most of our supporters are strangers. It's rarely the people closest that actually pull on what we have or where we're going. Maybe after the strangers get involved, then the people closest to us start to jump on the bandwagon, but that comes with the process. But yeah, I like that. Of course, just seeing your diligence through it all, because yeah, you've had some pretty rough stuff happen to you over and over again, but seems like it makes a good product. I remember hearing a Shaolin monk a few years ago say something about the training at the Shaolin temple, especially when they do the stretching. For us in the West, it looks like torture. Stepping on their back to make their legs split looks like it hurts. And he gave a simple analogy. He said, you can't love a product and hate how it's made. This is how we make this. This is how we become who we are. It's not always fun. It's not always pretty, but you like the final product, right?
Yeah, all growth happens in discomfort. If you want to grow, you have to be uncomfortable. You have to be comfortable being uncomfortable. Otherwise, you cannot grow. Because when you grow, you're learning something new. And when you're learning something new, you're not used to it. When you're not used to it, you're uncomfortable. So you have to be uncomfortable. You have to be comfortable being uncomfortable in order to grow into the best version of yourself. Because without pain, there is no strength.
Yeah. Strength training is stress training. It's resistance training. And it's not even always just physical. That's life. I've learned to find the places with the resistance, or A common quote that I heard that I was a kid and I've lived by is that they said, treat life like you treat a video game. The
Yeah.
enemies only show up in the areas you're supposed to be going. I remember I got lost playing a game, and that's how I found my way back into the story mode, is because I would just start looking for the enemies. I'm like, when the enemies pop up, I'm going in the right direction.
Yeah.
Man, so talk to me a little bit. So you martial arts, you end up doing parkour pretty much your whole life. That's been a constant. And then spirituality, or let's just say energy training. How would you define your spiritual how would you describe or define your spirituality at this point in your life?
Well, for that, I would have to understand exactly what you mean by spirituality. Like, do you mean what I believe in? Do you mean how I see myself? Do you mean how much control I have over myself or consciousness or whatever you want to call it?
Yeah, all
So,
three.
okay. So, I don't believe in anything at all.
Mhm.
I know what I know. And if I don't know what it is, if there's a question of belief, I stay away from it until I understand it. And then I can confidently say that I know it. But I can't, I never say I believe in this. In terms of what level of spirituality I am at, I am nothing. I am absolutely nothing. I have achieved nothing. I have learned nothing. I am just a little toddler infant in a world of gods. And I have a lot to learn. I have a lot to grow. I have a long journey ahead of me. I have a lot to achieve. A lot to achieve. And hopefully all of you are going to be able to see that one day. Because I value my words, and I hope you do too, because I'll back it up with my action.
Yeah, I like that. That's a mature answer. I love it. Some people might be disappointed by that answer, but I like it because it's real. The point of this show is never to show people from where they aren't, but where they are. I want the world to see you as you exist, where you're going, and hopefully you get some people, more and more people behind you to really help you with your goals. So to talk about that, I know you mentioned that one day you want to travel, you want to learn, you want to practice and refine yourself more and more. What are some other goals that you have? Whether it be physical, mental, spiritual. Let's talk about your future a bit.
I have certain goals, and in terms of physical or mental or spiritual, mind and body whole as a whole, I have. If you're talking about traits or skill sets that I want to learn, then of course, me training in Chi automatically says that I want to advance in it. And in terms of what kind of advancement, Chi is energy. Everything is energy. That being said, if you can master energy, everything is just frequency. It's just a difference of dimensions, frequency. If you can master that energy, you master everything. You control energy, you control everything. From manifestation to anything you can imagine. Whatever that might be. Whatever that might be. It's possible. If you have enough. If you have enough skill, that's possible. If you have enough control and refinement, that is possible. But the thing is, at least at this stage in my life, it's not, I don't have a single person who is in my life who is better than me at what I do, who can help me learn or show me what to do, what's the next step. Even if I just get to know, like, what's the next step, what's the next breakthrough, to completely shatter my past limits. I don't have that. I don't have that direction. I don't know exactly what to do. I know what to do. I know what I have to do. I have to master yin, master yang, master the merge, master balance, all that stuff. But the application of it, the physical aspects of it, the technical part of it, I don't have anybody to come and help. I don't have anyone to tell me, all right, you're doing this wrong. Do it like this, or do this, try that, try this breathing technique, try. I don't have anybody to do that. I have to figure it out by myself. So it's a little bit difficult. But I know people, I know certain people who can literally fly, like float. I don't know if you've heard or not, but like in ancient Indian culture, there used to be gurus, and those gurus used to perform miracles like float. They would float. I mean, that's a very worldwide known concept, right? Like with a
Yeah,
stick, somebody
Indies.
floats. Yeah, or they're like on the ceiling somewhere floating, or whatever it might be. Or when when you do meditation, they have like in animations and stuff, they show you floating. There are
Yeah,
people who can generally do that. There are actually people who can do that.
yeah.
There are people who have insane control over their energy to the points where in okay, so in one of my trips to Pondicherry, like close to Oroville, I had trained in Salambam. Salambam is a martial art. It's an Indian martial art. It specializes in weapons, mostly staffs, swords, and that sort of stuff. But it has a huge, wide range of specialties in the martial art itself. And in those wide range of specialties, there's one section that is completely dedicated to chi. And the senior student, every single section has a master of itself. And the senior student, the senior most student of the chi section, that guy in front of me, in front of my eyes, he could hurt people by looking at them. As in simpler terms, he used to attack them without actually touching them physically.
Hmm.
So he's using chi for that, which is insane. I mean, it's absolutely crazy. Having the
Yeah,
ability to actually physically hurt somebody with energy, just your energy, is insane. It's actually crazy. I mean,
yeah,
till this point, the heaviest thing that I've probably pushed down or been able to, blast off is this gigantic matchbox that's full of matches, or a lighter. That's like the heaviest thing that I can push with my energy. And there are people out here being able to push bricks or genuinely affect the world with their
yeah,
energy, which is crazy. And that's the thing. I don't know what else, like, I don't know what the next step is. So I don't know how to break through from this barrier of a limit that I have right now.
mhm. So take us, I like that. Mind you, I've seen a lot of that in person myself. I used to do some of it. Back when I was a martial artist, that was one of the things that I was able to do specifically is inflict pain without actually touching people. And then I put martial arts away to be a mystic and a spiritual teacher. But yeah, that was fun while it lasted. But take us behind the scenes for you, right? We talk about using energy, refining energy, getting some level of mastery over it. What does that feel like for you? What's going through your head while you're using your energy?
Okay, so it depends on what I'm doing. If let's say I want to push something. So there are multiple ways of doing what I do. So either you can build a connection with the object and you can simply want it to move, or as if it were your arm, what you tell yourself is, I am you, you are me. Let's say I'm trying to control a flame. I am the flame is me. We are both energy. You have to dig deeper and understand that you both at your fundamental core are energy, and that there is a way that you can match. So you have to start getting used to biomagnetic field around the flame. Everything has a biomagnetic field. And you have a biomagnetic field. And you basically have to get your biomagnetic field used to the flame's magnetic field. And it's not just that, you have to get sensitive to barriers itself. Like, just barriers in general, you have to get sensitive to touching barriers and feeling barriers and aura. Once you do that, you basically have to build a connection with the biomagnetic field of the flame or the object that you're trying to move. Once you've established a connection, that you've already told yourself that I am the flame is me. Now, you can move your finger, or just as you would move your arm. You don't push your arm to move. You don't tell your arm to move. You want it to move, and you genuinely know and believe in your heart that your arm will move. That's why I can move it. I'm not pushing it to move. I'm not forcing it to move. I'm not saying, yo, dude, please get down. I know I can. It's me. It's part of me. I wanted to. So it's the same thing. It's an extension of you. So that's one way to do it. You build a connection. Another way to do it is simply by regulating your own energy, increasing the density of your energy, giving it shape, and blasting it with external force. So you can hit it with external force, or you can build a connection and want it to move. Whether it's pulling it towards you or pushing it away or whatever it may be.
Nice. And I agree. Especially, so the way that I used to go about doing it, I don't practice telekinesis too much. But for years, I worked at a car wash, and sometimes we had to clean the parking lot because there's trash. People leave bags and all types of stuff in the parking lot. And on occasion, I'm the one that has to go pick that up. So, or just because of how big the area is or how open that part of town was, we get trash from down the street that would blow in when the wind got strong enough. And I didn't like the idea of chasing trash around the parking lot. So I would force it down to stay still. And I thought I was being discreet because—
Sorry, give me 1 second.
All right. So I thought that I was being discreet because I didn't actually want too much attention. I used to hide my spirituality while I was at work, because once people know, they start to pull on you, and then you don't really have much of a private life. One day, I go and I'm working at another location, and one of the guys was like, so we saw you do this thing. Like, they had a nickname for me. I forgot what it was, but they said, we saw you do this thing a few times when we were just checking the cameras, where you're like, there's some trash getting pushed by the wind and you point at it and it stops. What is that about? I'm like, oh man, y'all saw me do that. Because I wasn't thinking about the other teams who had access to the cameras. I'm just paying attention to my crew. I'm like, okay, no one's around. Come here. Sometimes I'd pull it over to me. And for me, it was releasing enough force to where I could restrict the flow. I was able to release enough energy where the force of it was more than the wind pushing against it. And in some cases, I was able, so it almost felt like I had put my finger on it and was holding it in place, or in some cases, dragging it closer to me. But yes, I used to practice when I used to open up the shop sometimes, because I'm the only one that's up and aware at 6 in the morning, 5, 6 in the morning. So I'd be in there moving the equipment around, just practicing, because no one's around, no one can see, the cameras don't work that well that early. But yeah, so I can definitely agree, not just with the possibility of it, but even the mechanic behind how telekinesis works, using your energy in that way. Find out that a lot of us experience the behind the scenes the same way.
Yeah, I mean, the fundamentals of it, the technicality of it is obviously going to be the same for everyone. Even if we have different ways of going about it, it's still the same destination, so it's gonna have the same contours. Yeah, building a connection is widely known as telekinesis. The other stuff that I mentioned is not consider telekinesis exactly. Telekinesis is basically definition when you build a connection with an object or something and you control it as if it were an extension of you. Whereas using external force or your internal force as an external force is something different. It's yin and yang, and there's a lot of it to it. There's also something that people do. They make the density of the air itself thicker, like heavier, and they use the air to push. For example, I forget his name. Senpai Kaichi or something.
Yeah, I think I know who you're
Something.
talking about. I think his name
Yeah.
is like Okai.
Sorry.
I think his name's like Okai or something like that.
Possibly, but he says Kaichi. He basically calls it Kaichi.
Mhm.
But it's of course it's not his origin. I mean, he didn't originate that style, but I don't know. Whatever, it's fine. But what he does, he's very no, he's very strong. He's very, very, very strong, and his skill level is also very impressive. I don't know who taught him. He's saying that he learned himself, which is insane because he's pushing down bricks and shit. Like he can he's very strong. I've seen like the videos that I see, even of his students right off the bat as they start training. It's pretty strong. Like that technique really is strong. Because what they do is they don't use energy the way we use it. They kind of like increase the density of the energy and compress it. And as they compress it, they use physical force to push.
Yeah.
So but whereas for telekinesis, it's not physical force. It's supposed to be like if this is standing, then I don't have to use any physical force to push. I just have to want it to move with my mind, and it's supposed to move. Whereas this is like using physical force and using all of that force to use density and push everything apart. It's very impressive stuff. I mean, he just
Yeah.
does this. He can just do this and pull like a freaking metal bottle towards himself, like drag it from across the table. Crazy.
Yeah. Senpai Kai. That's the
Senpai
name.
Kai. Yeah. I mean, I was
Yeah,
right
because I
then. I
remember
said Senpai Kaichi.
when he first started, people used to make fun of him, and then he got to the point where it was undeniable, and now like he's grown in
Exactly.
popularity, which I love.
Exactly. That's what I want to do. I want to see. I have thousands of people texting me every single day about me teaching them, or me coming up with a course, or having some kind of place where they can buy my knowledge. But the reason I don't want to do that is because I'm not a master yet. Charging people for something that I'm not a master at, knowledge of something that I'm not a master at, it feels wrong. I mean,
Yeah.
I don't have the skill required for me to help you the way you want me to help you. And especially because there are so many skeptics out there, unless I have substantial evidence that yes, what I am doing is undeniably what I say it is, what I don't have a leg to stand on. It's a foil. I mean, there are so many explanations as to how it can happen, but I'm doing it. And I know what I'm doing. I can feel it. And I can't explain that feeling to anyone, but I know I'm doing it.
Yeah.
Um,
And that's
but
integrity.
yeah.
Yeah. Because yeah, that's the unfortunate part about this spiritual space that we're in right now, that people are very willing to pay for stuff that we're not ready to sell yet. Like there's not necessarily room to be a newbie or room to be a novice.
I've helped others. I mean, that's part of the reasons why I got so burnt out is also because I was replying to uh like 1,000, 2,000 messages every single day. Like I would sit down, and it's not just like a generic message that I just give to everybody. It's like like a very private, personal, well thought conversation that I'm having with each person, because every single person wants help of some other kind. Someone wants advice, someone wants to learn martial arts, someone wants to learn chi, someone has problems with their diet, someone has problems with this, their lifestyle, their training or whatnot. Like thousands of problems, and I have to deal with all of that. I have to help every single person individually, and I can't just give them one generic message because then it just makes me look like I don't care.
Yeah.
Right? It's like I'm just sending one generic message to every single person, but I don't know how to explain to people. It's like close to impossible. I'm getting more than 2,000, 3,000, 5,000 messages every single day. It is not possible for me to sit down and reply to every single person in a personal way. I cannot have a personal conversation and a connection with every single person like that. If it were just that, I would reply to them once and I wouldn't have to go back and keep replying. That still would have worked out. But like they expect me to sit there and talk to them for
Yeah.
like days and months and weeks, and I can't do that.
Yeah.
I have more than 30,000 messages in my inbox right now. How am I supposed to get through that? Like I open the chat and I start scrolling and I see 4+ messages, 4+, 4+. I mean, it's just I don't even have to do anything to get tired. I just see it and I get tired. I'm like, oh wow, that's wow.
Yeah. I understand that. I was on a podcast a few months ago, and a few thousand people found me. And then more recently, another podcast I was on, a few more thousand people found me. And all like I had to restructure my entire ministry just to accommodate all the messages. Because
Wow.
I believe in rest over burnout. I'll go weeks without responding to anyone before I let myself get burned out trying to meet everyone immediately.
I
So
mean,
I had to
yeah.
restructure everything. I had to funnel all the people to slow down the flow, make it harder to reach me directly. I'm like, yeah, stay off of my Facebook, stay off of my Instagram. Certain things I just don't answer because I'm like, it's too much. It's too much, especially like you said, to be personal. It's too many people at a certain point. Um, so I started doing emails only, or more so just through my website, contact forms. And with that, I get to you when I get to you. There are no emergencies. I'm like, don't come to me for life or death. Call 911. That way I can get to you when I have time to respond. And actually, so as an introvert, I've learned to take, like, let's say a day or a few hours, respond to a bunch of people and go ghost for a few weeks.
I mean, I haven't responded to anyone proper. I mean, I have. I just started again, but the gap that it didn't even open the chat or check who messaged me or who didn't, for like about 3 months, I would say.
Yeah.
3 months, I didn't even look at the messages. I was like, and I feel bad because I genuinely want to help them. I genuinely want to reply to every single person. And I want to like make them feel seen and make them feel important and wanted, but
It's
it's
too
just
many
not
people.
possible. Yeah.
Because you're
I don't
dealing
want
with
to I don't want to sound
30,000
mean or like a
followers at
jerk.
once.
I don't want to sound like ungrateful because this is insane having so many people reach out to me for whatever it may be, whether it's help or just to show me support or whatever it is. It is an unexplainable feeling, and it's just I'm so grateful for what I have right now, for everybody, for everyone's effort towards me. But I don't want to sound ungrateful, but it's really hard, like it's really difficult. I'm still trying to reply to every single person.
Yeah.
I'll do
At
that.
least when people see this, they can understand your heart a bit better. It's not that I don't want to talk to you. It's just so many of you, and you're just one person.
I'm really trying. Like I'm really trying, man. I just lost a friend recently. He passed away, and there's a lot of other crap going on in my life that I have to deal with alone, and I don't have anyone. I live alone here, and it gets really tiring, like having to deal with everything else that I deal with, and then have personal problems, and then having the responsibility of getting stronger for everyone, for training, to help others, to advance. on top of that, I got to post. I have to deal with clients to make a living, to earn and sustain myself, because otherwise I'm gonna be broke and homeless. So I have to earn. I have to deal with clients. I have to train myself. I have to make sure I'm having proper nutrients, proper nutrition, post properly, work on my social media, make new connections, reply to every single person, and on top of all that, deal with my personal problems, my life personal problems, relationships, and whatnot. It's just like I'm a little tired
Yeah.
because I don't have anyone else to help me on this. I'm completely alone on that. So I'm just a little tired. I don't get to see my sisters. My mother and my sisters are in a different friggin' country across the planet. My father, I mean, we didn't talk much before this, but we recently started talking a lot. We've become more like friends now at this point, rather than father and son. I never felt like father and son with him ever. So I don't have, what I'm trying to say is I don't have that deep connection with anyone in my life. And whoever I did have that connection with, they either leave or they die. So I'm just tired. I'm really tired of I have to keep going. I am going, but I'm tired.
Yeah.
Yeah, I saw like I lost a bunch of followers because of this. I had like 38.9K followers or something, and it was like rising. It was rising every single day. Every single day, I would open my Instagram account, and I would see like probably 3 or 4 thousand, or maybe even 5,000 followers increased in like 2 days, 3 days. And now it's like went from 38.9 to 38.6. And I see it deteriorating every single day. Like it goes down to 876. And I understand that people are getting fed up of me taking a long ass break, but I'm just tired. I'm
Yeah. Take
genuinely
care
just
of
tired.
you.
I have, I have the clips. I have the content. I've made the videos because I train and I've made the videos. I have really, really nice videos ready to post, but I mean, not ready to post. I got to edit it. But any minor little inconvenience happens, and I lose energy. Like I just get drained out. I
Yeah.
have to download the videos and the pictures from my cloud, and that process wasn't working properly. And in the first 5 minutes, that was enough to burn my energy out. And I was like, oh wow. And I have to edit it after that. It's like more than 5 hours of footage that I have to cramp up into like what, 2 minutes, a video for 2 minutes, 2 minute video. It's a lot of editing, it's a lot of work, and I do it all by myself as well. It's hard.
Yeah.
But yeah, I
That's
gotta keep going.
I like that you're mentioning this because a lot of people aren't as transparent about, let's just say, the negative side of being a influencer or just someone that's taking their own life serious. There's life that happens in every area.
Yeah,
Not knowing what to do, still having people depend on you, personal things happen. We have lives too. we're not
that
just
that yeah,
we're not just celebrities or influencers, we're people.
that's the part that I feel the most guilty about. That people are depending on me. Some people look up to me. Some people are waiting and watching me and waiting for my next move to feel confident. So I have to keep going, of course.
Yeah. And at the very least, well, you probably already know this, but we appreciate the work that you're doing as you do it. And I'll give you permission for the rest of your followers to take your time, to
No,
take your time to prioritize yourself, your rest, your mental health. It's
they've
like video games, right? Everyone's like, man, Grand Theft Auto 6 still isn't out yet. We've been waiting for over a decade. That just means that when it does finally come out, we'll get to appreciate a finished product. It won't be as glitchy. It won't have this many issues wrong with it. The longer it takes to arrive, the better it'll be when it gets here. So consider your breaks as just more refinement. This is what it takes for you to be a better you when you come back.
they've been very supportive. Like my followers, I posted a story recently where I gave a brief explanation as to why I'm not posting, that I was sorry for not posting.
Mhm.
And I had like a bunch of, like, first of all, I got over 1,000 views, even though I haven't posted in so long. My story, my personal story, got over 1,000 views immediately, which means people are waiting to tune in to what I'm doing, which in itself is like extremely appreciative, that you're sitting there for 3 months and waiting to see what I do. And every single one of them had such positive and supportive responses. Every single person responded with positivity, told me to take a break. They said that they're there for me, and it's they're waiting for me, that they trust me and all that. It's really, really a very surreal feeling for me, especially because growing up I never had any friends. I never had people to depend on. I never had supporters in my life. I was just that kind of I was just that freak, with uh family problems, like, maternal paternal problems. I was very tiny growing up. I'm tiny. I'm pretty small. But I was extremely tiny. I was always very quiet because of the torture that I had to go through, physical and mental abuse. Um, it was pretty extreme in my case, and I had to really fight to survive a lot. A lot of the times, I had to really, really fight for my life to survive. I was like 4. Sorry, from when I was 4. So I was very quiet. I was like that quiet, freaky kid that was lonely and alone. All my life I've been like that. So having people, strangers around the world, across the globe, who are like there for me or supporting me, believe in me, waiting for me is a very, very surreal feeling from coming from somewhere where I had no one.
Yeah.
And like you said earlier, I would like to add to that, is that we don't clap enough for the people closest to us. When we see a celebrity do something great, we cheer loud. We cheer loud. We shamelessly appreciate their work. We shamelessly praise them. But when it's somebody in your family or your best friend or anyone close to you, we don't do that. We don't do it enough because we're killing their flame. We're killing their spark. Because
Yeah.
a lot of the times they look to you to see if you're giving the vote of approval or not. And if you do, then that boosts their confidence. But we don't do that. We act nonchalant, like we sit there like, yeah, cool. Whereas if it were a celebrity, you'd be fucking clapping. You'd be
Yeah.
cheering. You'd be standing and cheering and clapping, which is crazy to me because you love that person. You
Yeah.
care about that person.
Yeah. Told a basketball player happy birthday and ignored your brother.
But that's the craziest part. That's genuinely the craziest part. I've had a brother ever since like I grew up. We both were basically best friends from the womb, but our mothers were best friends. Um, like during the later parts of our lives, I wasn't invited to his birthday parties, but everyone else was. Even though we were like that close, we were like twins. We used to call each other twins. And my sister, for example, not my own sister, not my blood sister. I have made strangers my family all my life because I've had a very empty spot in the family section in my actual life. I don't know what it's like to have a full proper family, so I used to make my own family as a kid. So my sister, um, she she was young at the time, but still, I mean, it's ridiculous. Even now, I see people doing this. Like there was BTS or something at the time. I don't know
Mhm.
what was famous exactly, but I think it was BTS. It was some a BTS member's birthday, and she's cheering, dude. She's posting like 50 freaking stories on him, obsessed with him. Like she's making edit videos for him She edited the whole video for him for his birthday, and when it was my birthday, she genuinely didn't wish me. She genuinely, like, I was sitting, every birthday ever since I was a kid. What I did was, not ever since I was a kid. In the middle, my mother and I had some other people around in my life, but ever since like what 2020, 2022, my birthdays consist of me sitting in a dark room with a cake and a candle alone, and I just that's all. But it's crazy to see how much people will cheer for someone they don't even know. But people like me who are, I mean, I give everything. I don't know. Maybe I'm a bad brother, but I give everything that I have for the people that I care about. I try my best to give people more than I ever will take or want to take. But even if it burns me out myself, I still try to smile for them and be there for them. I never show weakness to anybody. I'm always like a pillar to everybody. I'm always trying to be a pillar of hope, a pillar of support, a pillar of trust and loyalty for them. But I don't know. Maybe I'm doing something wrong.
Yeah. So to change the topic slightly as we start to wrap up, we're almost out of time. So you mentioned training a lot. What does training look like for you regularly? What do you do to maintain yourself?
Okay, so if you're talking about maintaining my physical body, then I basically make my life my training. When I wake up, it's a lifestyle. It's not really a set time that I take during the day and I train it during that period of time. That's not what I do. What I do is I make it a lifestyle. So like I wake up in the morning. To get out of bed, I flip out of bed. If I want to get from point A to point B in my house, I will dash or I will run or I will use a new technique that I learned to move or jump or whatever it is. Getting down from the stairs, I'm jumping, dashing, moving, vaulting. I vault over the counters. If I want to get out of the house, I climb out of the house. I climb back into the house. I don't use the gate normally. I'm constantly moving. Anytime I have to do anything, my default movement set is not the normal default movement set. It's like exaggerated parkour moves. So if I learn a new skill, I'm gonna try it randomly for no reason. And as for training, I train most of the time. I mean, whether it be physical or mental, I train most of the time. Even when I'm eating, I think about the training that I've done. I visualize it because my master Lama, she told me, more than 70% of the training is in your mind. And that is absolutely true. The more I train, the more I realize that she was absolutely correct. Most of it is in your mind because you have to build neural connections. Your nervous system has to learn that movement. It recognizes pattern. It has pattern recognition. It recognizes pattern. So if you keep visualizing something like very, very strongly, powerfully in your mind, to manifest that into your body and have your body just simply act it out is not that difficult. But learning the skill is what's difficult. So it's all in here mostly. So I train mentally, physically, spiritually. I sit down with myself. Any chance I get to reflect on my emotions, I don't just let my emotions control me. I don't act out on my emotions. I take a step back before acting and I think, okay, what am I feeling? Why am I feeling this? What caused me to feel this? And what does this feeling exactly entail? What does this mean? What is this making me want to do? What is this making me like? And what do I want to do? Does that align with the feeling that this feeling is giving me? If not, then I compartmentalize that feeling and I act despite the emotion. It's mainly discipline. That's the disciplinary training that I do. Acting despite being sick, tired, broken. Anyone can show up to training on a very good day and kill it. But that's motivation. But discipline is when you don't want to get out of bed. You're sick. You're tired. You're aching all over. You're sick of this shit. You don't want to get out of bed. You don't want to wake up early in the morning. You don't want to show up for training. You don't want to do that shit. but you still show up and you still do it and you still kill it. That is discipline.
Mhm.
So that's what I practice mostly.
That's powerful. And there's a lot to learn just in that, especially about the difference between just being motivated and being disciplined. That's something I think we all should apply a bit more.
Yeah,
It's Training is when you really don't want to do it and choose to anyway. uh,
exactly.
so as we wrap up, I want to just open the floor for you to share any final thoughts that you'd have, any words of wisdom or inspiration that you can leave with the audience.
In the pursuit of discipline, a lot of us forget to see ourselves. We objectify ourselves as an object. This happens quite often, and I've done this a lot myself. Um, I don't treat myself as a person sometimes, as in emotions have become so irrelevant to me that I forget that emotions are what make me a human being, a person. But I came down to a little confusion is that emotions are bringing me pain, and pain is getting in the way of my training, which is getting in the way of my advancement. But I'm in pursuit of power, I'm in pursuit of strength, and no strength comes in the absence of pain. I need pain to grow in strength. So I've realized that it's not just about shutting your emotions off and ignoring them, it's about being able to redirect that energy into something more positive. Because if you don't control your emotions and you try to compartmentalize all your life and you just try to ignore it and pretend it's not there, you don't deal with your emotions. Eventually, your emotions are going to deal with you. And when it does, you're not going to like it. So I've learned that you need to have that balance between discipline, having discipline, doing what you have to do regardless of how you feel, but also addressing how you feel and making sure that you're taking care of that part of yourself. Because if you don't do that, then your soul is gone. If your soul is gone, your purpose is gone.
Powerful. That's amazing. If you could, please share where people can connect with you, where they can support you, where they can find you.
I have an Instagram page called ITSAQUI_BTW. It's Aqui, by the way. You can find me over there. I have an Instagram page over there. In terms of other platforms, I do plan on having a YouTube channel very soon. Once I get more resources and I build a bigger audience for myself, I will start YouTube for long format videos which dives more in depth into what exactly I'm doing and the technicalities of everything I'm doing. I also have planned to start a teaching thing, tutorial videos and educational videos on Qi and stuff because everybody wants to learn Qi. And it's physically not possible for me to open every single chat and give you private lessons, every single one of you, 38,000 people. So what I decided I'm going to do is I'm going to start posting tutorials and I'm going to start posting educational format videos. In-depth, you're going to find in-depth versions of those on YouTube, not now, very soon in the future. And you will find short-form videos on Instagram.
Awesome. Well, Aki, it was great having you here. This was phenomenal. Thank you for your diligence and your wisdom.
It was a pleasure to be here, man. I had a great talk with you.
All right. Well, that concludes this episode of The Inner. Please go check my boy out. And until next time, y'all be blessed. Later.